Now, on to today's action. Later this evening, we will see if George's Adderley can fly the flag all the way for Scotland to the final of the women's competition. But first, it's time to welcome the players on court for the other women's semi-final of the day, and it's an all-England encounter. Up first, she's been here since round 1, beating the numbers 2 and 7 seeds on her road to the semi-final. Please welcome onto court, Torrie Malik. Up against Torrie, also representing England, the number 8 seed in this year's Springfield Scottish Squash Open. Please welcome onto court, Grace Gear.
Welcome to viewers tuning in on BBC Sports Scotland and BBC iPlayer. You're watching coverage of the Scottish Squash Open 2021 live from Inverness. And this is the first women's semi-final, an all-English one between Grace Gear, the number 8 seed, and Torrie Malik, the unseeded player. So we have Torrie Malik in the blue top on the left-hand side, 116 in the world, and as I say, unseeded in this event, only 17 years of age, coached by her father, Cameron. She recently got to the final of the Pontefract Challenger event in the summer. There's been lots of Challenger events since we've been able to play tournaments again. Fantastic run through from Torrie Malik so far to get to this semi-final. And Grace Gear in the pink top on the right-hand side, the number 8 seed, currently 94 in the world, 23 years of age, born in Welwyn Garden City. She got to the semis this summer of the Squash Squared Open event, another challenger, coached by Adam Fuller and Paul Carter. And they have played once before. That was in the Peterborough tournament this summer, challenger event, and that was won by Torrie Malik, but unfortunately Grace Gear had to retire injured in that one, so can't really take too much from that. Grace Gear, no PSA titles so far, but she's been in 4 finals, so trying to correct that this week should she get through to the final, which is tomorrow afternoon. Well, I'm Simon Park, and joining me for this first semi-final is Scottish international Katrina Allen. How are you doing, Katrina?
Good, good. Thank you, Parky.
Good to have you back.
Yeah, I know. I was all set for never setting foot in the commentary box, but here we are.
You didn't rate yourself then?
Just don't want to put everyone else to shame.
No, it's been fantastic having all of the players coming in here, giving me their insights.
Yeah, it's been a good opportunity. Thanks for having us.
You're welcome. What are your feelings about this match? Obviously, I mentioned the head-to-head, but it was an injury for Grace Gear, so it's like a fresh start, really, isn't it, for these two? Yeah,
absolutely. Torrie, obviously, having a great run this tournament, playing some really good squash, and probably the same for Grace Gear as well. She's sort of stomped her authority, beating 2nd seed, 7 seed as well. Was that Torrie? So yeah, could be a really good match.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to all the semi-finals today. It's, believe it or not, 6-year age gap between these two. So obviously they wouldn't have come through in juniors together, but they'll know a lot about each other. Both of them look very focused. Of course, that's straight after this match. If it runs through to 3 o'clock is Amir Evans and Curtis Malik, which is Curtis's, Torrie Malik's older brother. Then there'll be a break, and the 2 semi-finals this evening will begin at 7 o'clock. So if you haven't seen squash before, that was known as the knock-up. Players get 5 minutes, 2.5 minutes on each side, just to get warmed up and get their eye in, as we say. And then there's another little break just to gather themselves, quick couple of sips of water before starting the match. As you can hear, the referee calling the time as well. They've been tightened up on that, on the rest time in recent years.
Torrie Malik of England to serve. Grace Gear of England to receive. Best of 5 games.
Well, here we go. Both players look not that nervous, actually. Look really, really up for it and ready.
Yeah,
Ready
definitely.
to go.
Both looking very focused and good to go in a semi-final.
Yeah, Torrie Malik coming through an extra match because she had to play a first round, whereas Grace Gear was already in the second round. Some of the higher seeds had that luxury. Malik coming through against Kohonen of Finland. Then Rachel Chadwick, she took out the number 2 seed from England. And then yesterday took out another English player, Alicia Mead, the number 7 seed in 5 games. So she's not exactly had an easy run.
No, not at all. I think especially coming up against the number 2 seed so early, she's done really well to get through to this stage.
Yeah, Grace Gear did have a tough one against Marie Stephan yesterday, coming through in 5. But her first match against Katie Wells was fairly straightforward.
Yeah, it's good from Grace, just tidying up the court. Torrie leaving the ball in the middle and Grace just putting it away nicely. I think for this semi-final we've adopted a referee and a marker as
Oh, wow.
opposed to just a referee.
Luxury. Yeah, there's been some contentious decisions this week, as you would expect. There's been quite a few 5-setters, and as you know, being a professional yourself, it's not an easy game to referee squash and a thankless task. But when you're on the court, you tend to have rose-coloured spectacles on. we all do it. It's human nature.
Yeah, I've certainly had a few decisions this week where I thought, what on earth am I asking that for?
What, when you've watched yourself back?
Yeah, I watched my match back this morning and there was definitely points in that thinking,
Where you got it wrong.
what have you stopped for there? Yeah.
No, I was definitely very guilty of that at times. That's a great shot from Grace Gear. She won a lot of points on her backhand yesterday. It's the most I've seen of her this week, but there's a nice little forehand boast. There we go, there's the backhand.
A nice lead for Grace here.
It is, it's a good start. Very focused. Obviously done a really good warm-up, mentally and physically.
Yeah, I think being the junior, Torrie loves to be in front. and does really well from that position, both again mentally and physically. Really strives on that confidence.
Yeah, a front runner type player.
Yeah, exactly.
Likes to be dominant, and she likes to attack, doesn't she? But if somebody like Grace Gear is not giving her many angles, it can frustrate someone like Malik.
Do you have any predictions for this one?
Well, judging by this start, it's looking very much like a Grace Gear win. Before the match, I really couldn't tell you. Both seem to be in great form, and as I said, you guys are a lot more knowledgeable about these players at this age and this ranking. But I mean, I think there will be a response from Malik. She can play a lot better than that. But first game is taken quite surprisingly comfortably by Grace Gear. Not really sure what happened there with Torrie Malik, although it was a very impressive performance from Grace Gear, who takes the first game 11-2 in 5 minutes. She leads by 1-0. So we need a response here from Torrie Malik. That was, as I say, a little bit surprising. She's been playing tremendously well this week. Certainly don't think it's physical, although I said she has played an extra match, one extra match compared to Grace Gear. That's probably the first unforced error from Gear.
Yeah. I think starting, we don't want to take away anything from Grace's quality in that last game. She did really well to contain Torrie and execute her game plan nicely.
Yeah, I think contain is an excellent word to describe that first game, and that's what you have to do against a really attacking player, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely.
Just shut them down a bit, play very, very straight and tight, and then take your opportunities when they're there. It's a great serve.
Yeah, the lob serve becoming very, very effective in the women's game.
Yeah, it's a great shot, and that was the first time that Malik had any kind of space on that backhand and absolutely thumped it.
Yeah, I think we can expect to see a lot of that if she does create some space for herself. Then that's what's going to happen. The pace is going to be ramped up.
She's not really hitting her line there from slightly loose bows. She had a good position there, Torrie Malik. One or two errors starting to come now from Grace Gear. Perhaps the first game was a little too easy. Has to be a stroke. Nice return of serve, wasn't it, from Grace Gear?
Yeah, very tight and created that opportunity again for herself. I think that's a little bit of frustration from Torrie.
It's a bit rash, wasn't it? Well,
Yeah.
I'm hoping both of these players start playing really well at the same time, because it's a bit stop-start at the moment. Oh, it's a bit lucky from Grace Gear, but a lot of hustling going on.
Yeah, she did a good job in that rally just to set up and force Torrie into all 4 corners.
Yeah, and it paid off, although it was a little bit fortunate. Oh, wowzers.
Shot.
That was extremely attacking. Didn't hold back at all there, Torrie Malik.
That's the height advantage. You can hit down on that ball.
Yeah, we haven't got that, have we?
No, definitely not. Both these girls actually very tall.
Yeah, both long levers, good reach. But very, very different players. Different styles.
I think there's asking for the let and making sure that you get it. I'm not sure the movement there is absolutely necessary.
Yeah, it's just one of those, isn't it, where you've yeah, maybe start.
Oh, what a shot.
It was amazing. Start to make the effort and then you can stop.
Yeah, show to the referee you can get the
Yeah,
ball, but
absolutely. This was a cracking shot. I mean,
Yeah.
cracking being the operative word. It was it's so crisply.
oh, touche.
I mean, she has been serving well, Malik, but just onto the racket there of Gear. Put away nicely. This is hotting up now, Katrina.
Yeah, definitely. We knew it was coming. I think we expected a response from Torrie.
Just moving slightly. The back foot perhaps wasn't quite still on that backhand drop shot. Usually loves to play winners on that backhand side, Grace Gear.
Yeah, we saw that yesterday. Lots of winners coming from that backhand side. Just not quite so many today.
I'm not sure that was the right shot from Gear. It sort of squirted out the nick a little bit at an awkward angle. Tried to sort of defend in those positions. But a 2-point lead for Malik here. That looks like a stroke to me, Katrina.
Yeah, I think so.
Well, I think
Oh.
she's definitely a bit fortunate there for Malik. She didn't clear. It wasn't one of her best shots on the backhand volley. And she didn't clear. So you can see the ball's coming back into the line of Grace Gear.
Yeah, there's very little space to hit that, but
Oh, that's a perfect length. Really solid hitting from Gear.
yeah, I think she just needs to be careful to not force her opportunities. Just make sure she's starting with those solid basics of finding the back corners, and then she'll reap the reward of taking the ball into the front.
And she's saying she's caught her there on that previous shot. And if that happens, just for the viewers that may not have seen much squash, then it can either be a let or a stroke, and the referee decides whether you're in a winning position or not, whether the shot was affected or prevented. Well, we're starting to see a few decisions. This is where the referee starts to have to get involved. Malik deciding not to ask in that that situation, I don't think she would have been successful anyway.
No, I don't think so. That was a great shot from Grace.
Oh, that was
Again,
pretty
touche.
good. Great shot from Malik, that return of serve, but again, just onto the string. She's not making the side wall there, Grace Gear. That was a clever little flick and came quite close to the body.
Yeah,
Managed
lovely little change of angle.
Managed to deal with that one. So 1 game ball here for Grace Gear, an opportunity to go 2-love up. Stroke to me.
Ref agrees.
So we're into a tie break now where the player has to win by 2 clear points.
That seems harsh to me.
So an opportunity now for Torrie Malik to try and equalise. Really putting on the pressure now with this severe hitting, Malik. That was... She weathered the storm well there, Grace Gear.
Yeah, she did well not to put it on her racket and sort of set herself up. This is the kind of response we expected from Torrie, though.
Yeah, it was always going to happen after that 5-minute first game. Just not quite at the races. So another chance for Malik.
Grace just opting to use the towel at the front for her feet instead of her hands. It's clearly her shoes that are slipping rather than anything on her grip or her face sweating too much.
Sure. Just clipping the top of the tin. She hardly missed any of those yesterday. Gear. It's another chance for Malik. 13-12 now in this second game. Great serve. So be careful, Gear, with just popping up loose posts. Giving her too much time at the front of the court. And there's the yell from Torrie Malik. She has managed to equalise. Much more like what we expect from Torrie Malik after this, some of the wins she's had in this tournament. It's an excellent response from her. So Torrie Malik takes the second game in a tie break, 14-12 in 11 minutes. The score is 1 game apiece. So Katrina, game on. We had the response that we expected and that we wanted here from Torrie Malik.
Yeah, definitely. We didn't want to see a whitewash. It's good to have a bit of excitement in this first semi-final.
Yeah, it's been a great week here in Inverness. We've had some fantastic matches, quite a few upsets, and a lot of younger players coming through, and some Scottish success as well. We've got Georgia Adderley at 7 o'clock tonight, the 20-year-old from Edinburgh.
Yeah, again, great to see Georgia flying the flag for Scotland, the only one remaining, after a great match last night against Julianne, #1 seed.
Yeah, she managed to beat Julianne Cortese, very experienced English player. That's good. Back across the body of Malik. Wasn't able to turn in time.
Yeah, that's smart from Grace.
Oh, she got a racket on it.
That was so close. Could have been an unbelievable shot there.
Could have been shot at the tournament if she'd played that for a winner. Great reactions.
Oh, it wasn't far off.
Unfortunately not able to make it to the front wall. Nice lob serve again into the side wall.
Yeah, both girls making really good use of the height on this court, just to get themselves out of pressure or even apply pressure to their opponent.
Do you like to employ a lob serve?
Not recently. No, I tend to go through phases of using different serves.
Yeah, sure.
And currently not utilising the lob serve.
You just like to try and get it into the side wall and leave it at that.
Yeah, into the side wall and ideally bouncing in behind my opponent.
Well, just a bit unsure about the kill there. I thought it was fine.
Yeah, looked good to me.
Yeah,
That's the danger of the lob serve.
That is, yeah. It's a fine line, but if you do plenty of solo practice with it, you can get great rewards. Outweighs the bad.
Who's on tour or past or present has the best lob serve you've ever seen?
Probably Jonah Barrington, and that's obviously going a long way back. But he, I was very lucky to have a lot of coaching with him, and he was a big influence on me. And I mean, his lob serve, especially when I was first on court with him, which is when I was 10, 11, 12, I just literally couldn't get it back. It was so. I mean, it had snow on it when it came down. It went that high. It was absolutely ridiculous. But in more recent times, James Willstrop has used it quite a lot. So Gia here just in a slight lead, using that boast again to try and stretch Malik.
Yeah, that seems to be a weak position for Malik. Just into that front right, always seems to end up
there. Yeah,
on the floor, like skidding onto her knees.
You do forget though that she's only 17. It's an amazing achievement this week, isn't it? Win or lose.
Oh yeah, unbelievable, and just the experience to be in a semi-final of such a big event. It's really, really good for her.
Yeah, I think if I was serving to Malik, I might even do the ones down the middle or at the body, or just mix it up as much as possible. Both of these players actually return serve on a loose one really well.
Yeah, anything to ensure they aren't allowed to consistently volley. Give yourself that opportunity to get in front and start the rally on the front foot. That's a lovely shot from Grace.
Fantastic shot from high up on the forehand. She uses the angles really well, Grace Gear. It's a good get, but she's under pressure here, Torrie Malik. Yeah, it's well played, well straightened. So 4 game balls now for Grace Gear in this all-English challenge. This semi-final. It's just a little bit lazy there from Torrie Malik. There's Curtis Malik, Torrie's older brother, who will be in action later on. Giving her a few words of advice right now. But Grace Gear, the number 8 seed, takes the 3rd game 11-6 in 6 minutes. She leads by 2 games to 1. So just a bit of a lapse there really in the last game, wasn't it, for Torrie Malik? I'm not really quite sure. I think she just got a little bit frustrated with herself. Grace Gear, as I said, just a few years older.
Yeah, do you think we're going to see another game, or do you think Grace can close it out in 3-1?
It's very important, these first few rallies, to see how Malik responds to that last disappointment. You know, keep saying she's only 17, but that is a huge factor in this match. Hasn't had the kind of experience that a 23-year-old has had. And the start of this is looking good for Malik. She's certainly got the ability to do it.
Yeah, it's just about stringing that consistency together, isn't it?
Yeah, just staying tough mentally. Just trying not to let things get to her.
Shots like that certainly help.
Grace Gear seems to me as someone who's very good mentally. Keeps herself under control pretty well on the squash court.
Yeah, I'd agree. Never see many outbursts at the referee or even at herself, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, she's certainly not a pushover. She'll have a word with the referee, but she'll do it in the right way. Oh, that was... How did that go up from Grace Gear? The ball was glued to the side wall on that forehand side, and she managed to boast it. It went up. Great retrieval and flick. It's great squash from these two.
Still no one pulling away quite yet. Both point for point.
It's a good sign. It's a good sign for Malik because should have been very unhappy with that last game, and it's a good sign for the neutrals as well because it means that we're potentially going to 5. So that's just a little bit of a lack of concentration. Key points. Got to make sure that happens to a real minimum.
It's well read from Grace, just anticipating that cross court and punching it straight.
Yeah, it was on the half volley too as well, wasn't it? So really good timing there from her. Slightly ambitious, you'd say, from that position.
Yeah, the ball just squirting out a little bit from the back wall neck. Not an easy shot to play from a good position, never mind in that one.
True. That's a good shot from Gia. That backhand, the trusty backhand working for her on this volley.
Yep. That fist bump tells us just how important that point was. She's got a first 2-point lead.
Perfect length, really found the space. Got exactly the right target there, Grace Gia. See, just pushing herself on. She's recognising the key points really well. That was a little bit fortunate, hitting the join between the side wall and the front wall. That wasn't aimed for. Squash players know as the nick.
Another really crucial point here. Big difference between 9-7 and 10-6.
Yeah, absolutely. Torrie Malik really needs this one. Chance for her. Just well straightened by Grace Gia. And again, she's got herself in a brilliant position and deserves that fist pump. That was fantastic. She really worked that well, Grace Gia. Showed a lot of bottle to win that point.
And just like that, another point for Torrie.
Yeah, it's a nice finish just to pull a point back. Just make Grace Gia think about it a little bit. There you go. There's just a little bit of... No, that wasn't the right shot, was it there?
No, not quite.
Shot selection's been really good from Gia so far, but that was the wrong shot.
Yeah, she just needs to make sure she's making Torrie work for these points if she's going to win them. She's going to have to do lots and lots of work, and as we say that, she hits the 10.
Well, we've all been there. It was a bit of a sitter, but of course there was a lot riding on that shot. It would have taken her through to the final had she completed it. Still got a match ball though, Grace Gia. A little bit heavy, that drop shot. And the boast nerves perhaps just starting to show. She's let Torrie Malik back into this fourth game now. We're in a tie break. So the player has to win by 2 clear points now. Oh my word.
Crucial time for that kind of mistake.
I mean, I was singing the praises of lob serves earlier, but there are times when you perhaps maybe need to just play it a little bit safer, like a tie break in the fourth.
Yeah, not to give your opponent match ball.
Well straightened. Great rally from these two. Oh, it's fantastic. Really gutsy from Torrie Malik as well there.
Yeah, it's a low margin for error on that cross court.
She loves that shot. Well, this is getting really tense, Katrina.
I know.
Are you playing every shot?
Not quite yet. Maybe in the 5th.
God.
Another error from Torrie there.
I'm not sure whether if she was trying to defend, but she certainly should have been trying to defend. The ball was slightly behind her. It's another chance for Gear here in this tie break. Oh my word, what a win. Fantastic win there for Grace Gear. Really good match from these two young English players. Torrie Malik had a fantastic tournament, the 17-year-old coming through from round 1, getting all the way to semi-finals. But it's Grace Gear, the number 8 seed, who comes through 11-2, 12-14, 11-6, 13-11 in 36 minutes. She's through to the final.